Okay, so we're going to take a look at the case study of Sam Smythe. My name is Megan Ingalls. So the key issues in this case is that Sam is really undecided on what he wants to major in. He's frustrated, he keeps changing his mind and still hasn't found something that he's passionate about. He feels he's wasting time and Sam is ultimately at risk of dropping out. And this is something we want to avoid at all costs. Some decision issues we need to keep in mind. So we need to help Sam find his passion and stick to it to avoid him dropping out of college. We need to think about how can we help Sam make a decision? How can we encourage him to stick to that decision? And what are we going to do if we can't come to that decision? Some key stakeholders, characters and groups, settings and special circumstances that go with this case are Sam is obviously a key player. Myself as his career advisor is going to be key. I'd want to talk to his advisor that he's met with before to really get the full story and everything that they've worked on together. Some of the professors that Sam has worked with throughout his time there, the higher education institution as itself. Most of our meetings will be taking place in the career advising office. And some special circumstances is honestly, we don't want to waste any more of Sam's time taking classes he doesn't need. He already doesn't trust the system since it's failed him. He's seen it as it's failed him already. So we got to build his trust before we can really make any progress. Why do I think Sam struggled in the first year seminar course? Honestly, the course sounded pretty nice. It had a lot of stuff to adjusting to college. It had career exploration. It had a lot of different things that you would think would be helpful in a perfect world. But you got to be in the right mindset to take that course. So maybe there was a lack of variety of career exploration activities. Sam didn't really find them helpful, maybe. He was still in the process of adjusting to college life and couldn't focus on a major or a career path yet. I know there was a part in the course that discussed that, but maybe that was his initial focus while taking that class. And then Sam seemed pretty set on accounting and didn't seem to open up to other options immediately. So in order to take a class like this, you really need to be able to open up to other opportunities and not just be so set on your first instinct. Some essential facts we need to help Sam. We need to know everything that he's done before now, the different assessments he's taken in that first year experience course, any classes he's taken, so we'll take a look at his transcripts. We need to know about any jobs that he's done. I know the case study shared some of those jobs, but we need to know all of them, whether that's all encompassing or not. Any extracurriculars he's taken part in, any volunteering he's done in the past. We really need to know what Sam enjoys doing, whether it's school, work, personal, we need to know. And then why he likes and dislikes certain things. His career needs ultimately needs to find his passion. He needs to do some extra research on existing jobs and take more assessments. There are so many jobs out there that many people don't even know are out there. Many people think of the typical teacher, doctor, lawyer, and there's so much more than that that many people don't even realize. So some research is going to be super important. He needs to have some real life experiences in different career fields as well to see what actually fits for him, whether it's shadowing, doing life design interviews, even trying some internships. And he should take more classes in a variety of subjects to see if anything sparks his interest. Ideally, these classes will double count if he decides to go to one major versus another, that the class would count for both of them. So he's not taking a bunch of random classes that he'll never need in the future. Joining a club or finding volunteer activities would be good for Sam too. And ultimately, it comes down to he needs help with decision making and how to stick to a decision. Some questions I would ask Sam as his career advisor would be, have you done any independent research on careers? What jobs have you had in the past? What did you like and dislike about them? What do you like to do for fun? A fun question is, if money wasn't an issue, what would you do? So this allows him to think creatively about what he actually likes to do. What is his dream? What has been your favorite class so far and why? What type of environment do you like to be in? How have you made your decisions before you pick your major? So have you chosen majors based on your actual interest in them? Is it something that the only thing you could think of? Did you think it would be easy? Where was that coming from? And have you taken any career assessments before, which we know he has in that first year experience course. So we mainly want to focus on what did you think about the results? Some resources I would use to assist Sam. Depending on some of the assessments he's taken in his course before, we would take a look at other career assessments and personality assessments. I would look into the ONET, My Next Move, looking at the Occupational Outlook Handbook from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and what can I do with a major in, which basically you choose a major and then it shows you all the jobs that can go with it. So that might be a little bit later on in our exploration. I would have him take those 2 personality assessments at least, the MBTI and John Holland, and then some different skills and abilities assessments. I would also help him find people to host interviews or job shadow with, explore student clubs that might interest him on campus. We would find career workshops, programs, and events being held on campus, and then ultimately create a career action plan together. My recommendations, which some of these I've mentioned before, would be to take additional career, personality, and skills assessments, perform informational interviews, do some job shadowing, internships, volunteering, community service, taking a variety of courses, and doing some more independent research. I want to open his mind to dream about limitless possibilities, create odyssey plans, mind mapping, and starting a good time journal so he can really start broadening his expectations and know that there is no limits on what you can do and how to make it happen. Some strategies I would use to help Sam would be spreading out my suggestions across bi-weekly scheduled meetings. We can't accomplish this necessarily super quickly. There needs to be time for him to adjust, let things sink in, and time for him to explore himself. But I'll definitely make sure that I check in with him via email to make sure he's on the right track. I would encourage Sam that he doesn't need to rush to find his passion, and encourage him to not give up, to dream big, and to share other stories as well, to know that he's not alone. So there's tons of people out there who are struggling to make career decisions, making changes throughout their life and everything like that. So he's not alone in this process, and it's very normal. Some possible outcomes would be that Sam would probably be initially frustrated and possibly reluctant to put in the energy since he's already taken the FYE class and has changed his mind so many times. Hopefully, after opening his mind about endless possibilities and dreams, Sam will come around. Hopefully, the various activities that we'll do together could spark his interest, and we can match those interests with a career and a degree. But the key here is that I'm hoping to be able to disarm Sam, build a relationship, and instill trust with him so that we can figure it out together to minimize his frustrations. I don't want him feeling defeated at the end of this. I want to build a good relationship with him and actually make something out of this. So I thought of 2 overall resolutions. Hopefully, after working with Sam and opening his mind to new and different opportunities that he hasn't thought of before, we'll discover where his passions lay. He'll complete his major for the degree, find a great career that makes him happy, and Sam will continue designing his life and be more open to changes that come his way in the future. Or hopefully not, but Sam could be reluctant to opening his mind and doesn't make a decision. So this would result in him spending more time and money, potentially dropping out of college, living with a negative feeling towards himself, myself, and the institution. And Sam could be left in debt with no degree and continue to struggle to find work. So hopefully we're able to go through the first resolution and Sam will be successful. But quite frankly, you never know. It's all about the mindset that he's going to be in. Some appropriate theories: trait and factor theory, where he needs to know yourself, your interests, skills, values, ambitions, limitations, and personality type before picking a job. Then you're able to gain the knowledge about the occupation that best fit you. Then also the work adjustment theory. Sam needs to explore what type of work satisfies him. And quite frankly, he probably hasn't spent enough time on one of his decisions to adjust to it before changing his mind again. So he needs to do that. Then I'll have him take Holland's theory types and Myers-Briggs type theory. And then Crumbolt social learning theory. Sam needs to be taught career decision-making techniques. This one is mostly on me to determine what can help Sam make a decision based on his genetic influences, environmental conditions, learning experiences, and skills. And here are the references. Hopefully, using Sam as an example, we'll be able to make some progress here and really be able to help him come to a decision. So thank you very much, and that's all for me.